Hi everybody, another YouTube video, but also a CAD for the course I'm doing, and it's the final week of the course, so this is all exciting. So today I'm going to be using the Mountain Air. I bought this just recently and thought I'd give it a go. My sentiment has come from my free Comfort at Home set that I got for sales, which has been really good, and I'm using this sentiment. I've used the corrugated, what are these, embossing folders. I think this is going to be finishing. And I've used the Majestic mountain dies. So I've got my bits and pieces ready to go. I'm using Pool Party cardstock to make the card. Granite Grey to make the bit of corrugated at the back. I've used just plain white for the Comfort and Hope, and I've put my dimensionals on already. And I've got a bit of leftover twine here. I'm not sure what kit this came out of, but I thought it matched really well with the grey granite. I'm obviously got my stamp blocks all ready to go. I'm using grey granite, which I'm going to get ready now. I'm using Pear Pizzazz, Pool Party, and I've got to finish off some of these clear faceted gems. And what you want is a piece of cardstock to do your mountains on, and then a spare piece of cardstock to do your stamping of trees, etc. So I'm going to stamp my trees first, and I'm going to do a green one first, I think. So I'm trying to keep my work in the screen area, so that's why I've got this ruler here to show me how far off I can go. So I'm going to use the Pear Pizzazz for one of the trees. These stamps are amazing because not only do they do trees this way, yes, I've got it the right way, but you can actually turn them over and do a block colour. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate in a minute on the other one. So I want one in that colour, and then I want another one of these in the grey granite. So I'm going to wash that with my sponge. So then I want a grey granite next to it. Oh, and when you're using these clears, I always forget, what you want to do to give you a bit of a better stamp image is put a piece of sponge underneath it. Now I've used an old mouse mat, but I decided again to buy a proper one because I've been doing a few more videos. So when they're clear, they don't have that sponginess, so it means you don't have to push so hard, and you can see when the ink goes in. Like it. Okay, so I'm going to wash that one because I'll finish with that one, and I'm going to go to my smaller tree, and I want a green one. And I'm now going to put a Pool Party tree in. Just make sure the colour's on there. And just hold it for a few seconds and pull it up. So there you go. I'm making two of the double trees and two of the single trees, and I've put a little bit of the blue to match the card, and I've put a bit of the grey granite to match the backing there. So I'm going to put that to one side, and I'm going to take my piece. I will put the measurements on the video. So the first thing we're going to take is this stamp, and the back is smooth and the front is still smooth, but you can see the indents. So I'm going to use my grey granite to put the mountains down on my card. And what I noticed last night was that when I tested it, it doesn't like that place there, so just making sure that it does, and voila. The quality of these stamps and the detail that they have are incredible. So now I'm going to go to the pool party. So I've turned over the stamp set to make this to show the smooth black back of it, and I'm going to now put another layer on, and I just move it up slightly, straight down, and just let the colour go across the block, and then off. And this is what happened last night. I've got some ink left, so I'm just going to go back in there and see if I can, there we go, see if I can just catch it. You can see that's caught really well. So I'm just going to clean that stamp set. I'm going to put grey granite birds in. Make sure they're the right way up. And that's finished. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off camera, and I'm going to use my die cuts, and I'm going to cut these images out. Oh, that was my test one last night. Here, oh, let me show you. So when you turn these around, you get this image. So then you can cut it out using your die cut, and it can then be a background or a shadow piece into your design. So I'm just going to go and do these now, and I'll be straight back. I've just come back and I've die cut these out, and so we are now ready to assemble the card. So for doing this card, you're going to need your liquid glue, you're going to need your snail, you're going to need some dimensionals, so it will come from there. So I like to put the corrugated down using liquid glue, because I find then it catches a bit better on the grooves. You don't need a lot, but just a good bit of coverage. So we're going to put this down here in the center. There we go. And I'm going to place this one down, and again use liquid glue just for the part where it's going to go onto the corrugated area. Because what you will need to do is, because this is slightly raised, you'll take one of your dimensionals and pop it at the end. Okay. Okay. So we're now going to put our trees down. Again, you're going to need dimensionals. Some are going to be singles and some will be doubles, depending on where your trees are going to be. So what I do is I put my dimensionals on first and then arrange. So have him down there. Let's do, actually let's do that. Let's do 2 and 2, and then take the green and maybe go up this end like so, and take the blue one and put it in the middle. So I like that. So we want to see where this comes in, so we can move these trees down. So before we stick, we put a practice one up, and I'm going to just take a little bit of the string and literally circle it round and just pop it in here, just to add another bit of 3D dimension. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to pop that down, and I will speed up this section, and I will be back soon. For this one, I'm going to put a double layer of dimensionals on just to raise it up a bit more. So you take your backing off and then you add another one on the top. These come in black now, so when you're doing a project that you don't want to see the white behind, you can get the black ones, which is really cool. And go in there. So you see, you do that different levels. Then I'm going to put a glue dot around here for the string, because it's a little less sticky than putting glue down. And start from a glue dot. And let's finish with a bit of bling. So let's put a moon up here. Nice. And then we'll put some sentiments around here. Maybe. And there you have it. One card. Finished. So we've got different heights, different stamping, bit of string, bit of bling, a bit of embossing, and so it makes it a really nice card to send in the post. And it also, for those of you watching that have been doing my course, you might say, well, I can't do something like that, I don't have the product. That is fine. If you can't do a card for the course, send yourself a letter and make it a letter that has meaning. Make it a letter that has some cheerleading in it and some comfort and hope in there. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and for those Stampin' Up and avid crafters out there, this was one for you. And for those of you joining me on my course, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.